Welcome back to the GLAC Studios oil painting tutorial. This is Gomati Sivasankaran. We are in class 11 of Santhana Lakshmi painting. We know very well about Santhana Lakshmi that she is the goddess of progeny. She is a lot of abundance to share with you in terms of relationships. I am very happy that we are coming to a close of this painting. This has been one of the most challenging journey also for me. Even though it's a smaller painting that I've been working on, a lot of things that are about Santhana Lakshmi, the way it is, the story is often told from a woman point of view, and you have seen in the pictures that it's a woman point of view. And right now we are turning the story around to depict young girls, small little girls. And that was a challenging thought for me, especially given that I wanted to depict goddess of progeny in the way that she must be, but at the same time we are not telling the story of small girls becoming mothers or something. So it's a very, very thin line that we are standing on, and I'm happy that we have reached this far. I hope you also have enjoyed this, because it's always a thrilling journey when you sort of have an idea but you do not know how to reach there and you're struggling your way through. And I'm happy that I was able to record even my struggles throughout fully, except for a 5 minute or 10 minute miss that I couldn't record, but most of it we had recorded on camera. So I feel this tutorial is going to help many of you see how possibly people could go wrong when the ideas are there, and where do we try to fix and so on. So I hope you have found this very interesting so far. This is going to be the last of the classes. I have mentioned this before also, that technically I close with the layer 5, sort of keeping in mind that I have done a decent level of nuances and detailing. So I call it a wrap, but it shouldn't stop you in any way from experimenting further, going further. So uh, as a teacher, I first am a good student. So I am also trying to open up this door for you to look at opportunities, and I will be happy to be your student when you are coming back and writing to me in comments and, hey, by the way, there is this angle that I saw and I did it in my work and such. So I would dearly, dearly appreciate all that. Please do write to me. So do not take this as the final. If you are not convinced, you should go for it. You should go for another layer or two to do whatever you think you can do further. And I will be even more prouder as a teacher that if I had opened that door for you to go the length that you wanted to go. So yes, that's exactly what I have in mind to say before we get started. Today's class is going to be the nitty-gritties of the rest of the elements, the clothing of the children, and also the lotus flower, and we look at the background, as in close to the jewelry. We try to adjust things a little bit, and also a little bit of correction with the hand. Correction with this as well. Yeah, few things. um, and then we should be done. Of course, these the elements that we have, the coconut and the leaves and the sword and such, we will be working on. Mostly the colors, I think you by now know very clearly. There's going to be burnt umber black for the darker tonalities. There is going to be olive green, yellow, permanent yellow, and white for her, little girl. Um, Black, of course, I had mentioned. Crimson and white again. I guess that is it, isn't it? And the brushes, definitely I will stick to a lot of micro brushes when I come to this, maybe zero brush number 1 and such. I'll keep to that. That's what I see. So let's get on with the work. I'm going to start with the permanent yellow first. I have brush number 1 round. The permanent yellow itself is a translucent color. I'm not going to add much of oil or such. The way it is, I think I'm going to go for it. One more layer on top of whatever we have, you know, first to go through, and then when we come closer to the detailing of the jewelry and such, then we'll see how we can improvise, work on certain shading and such. For now, let's fill things in properly. Remember, I made some adjustments to the way this girl looks, and because of that, the size of her head also altered a little bit. So that's where we are also adjusting and putting in little more space for the skirt of Santhana Lakshmi. I'm recording this close to the Christmas and New Year vacations, so you might hear a lot of crackers and such along the line. I know that I'm cracking a little bit because of my cough. Aside from that, you might hear that also. Okay, I think I have done the filling in and it looks bright enough. And right now we need to start working a little bit on the shading. I want to use yellow ochre for shading, but not too much of it. Remember, we mixed a little bit of this yellow ochre and primary yellow for the jewelry and such. If you have some of it left over, I think that is enough. If we really need some hard shading, we'll use burnt umber. Let's see how far that goes. Yeah, so I'm using that color in a micro brush to go over ever so lightly and creating that feel of the pearl on the shade of the pearl on the clothing. Minor things, but it does matter. And then the shade of Australia here. Hmm. Taking a little bit of burnt umber to darken up this space slightly. That is enough. Okay, and this side, I have chosen this side of, because I see the light on her face is coming from her right or our left. So I have decided to give the pearls their shadows in the same angle. And then I wanted this, going back to the same brush number 1, to take this color through to shade a little bit in the armpit area and the, oh, I'm really losing concentration now. There's a lot of crackers, they're getting started. Okay, so that is done. Okay. I want the shade also to go a little bit on her shoulder line. Here we don't see much because it's her hair also. So that's done. We'll have to work on here near the hip area, the belt area. I think there were adjustments, so I'm just trying to find some more yellow and to go here to adjust, because it looks a little too dark for the space. And there is some highlight already existing, so I just wanted to adjust a little bit here. Done. Going in for that yellow ochre base to give a little bit of this shading on the skirt. I think we used a little bit of crimson or vermilion in the previous, that is still showing, so you don't need to highlight it again, I guess. Looks cool. I am happy with the shading here. And let's do the shading of the belt underneath here. Here I want it to be slightly darker, so I'm going for it. Tiny bit of burnt umber to sharpen these curves. These are really minor nuances, but you know what? They go on to tell the story. Done. I'm done with her clothing. Okay. The neck piece, let's do the shading using a bit of burnt umber to do the shading here. That is done. Now let's work on her hair. We have the similar tonality, but let's just make sure that we have the right one. The yellow ochre mixed a little bit with the yellow for her hair. It's the same color. I'm just going to do few more strokes here to build the hair a little further. Little, what do you call, little more into the bulkier space. I wanted the hair to look really good. That is done. Gonna go back to burnt umber to do some strokes here. Everything done with a minor, what do you call, the micro brush. That looks nice. Okay, let's do I'm taking some ivory black as well to give some stronger angles. That was about the dark, and let's work on the light. So I'm taking a little bit of white in titanium white in the brush number 01 to go over some of the sections where I want to show light falling, some of the sections where the light could be falling a little more. Hey. The skirts also could have a little bit of lighter section to, show or highlight the folds. Good. And let's go for I'm taking some titanium white in my tip of my brush to go for some lighter strokes as well on the hair, but I just want to make sure that it doesn't look totally whitey also. So whatever is there, maybe a little bit of burnt umber or something to tone it down a little bit before you go on the hair, doing the strokes there, highlights there. Yes, I think it's fairly done. Cool. Let us work on the white, and here I really need titanium white of the baby girl's dress. I'm taking some pure titanium white and I want to use a clean brush because I've been thinking of different colors to work with for her, because the yellow base, pink base and such, I'm not able to decide on a better color than this. The white itself should work. I'm adding pure titanium white as her base of the dress itself. And here I'm just creating the puffy area. I'm creating a rough angle here, so that will give you an effect of clothing. So without shading, we're actually using the white to be overloaded to give an effect in some places. This is one. Another thing I want to do, to take a bit of ivory black to gently go over this space, close to the area where the blouses or the frock is coming to a close, and then use that also to kind of suggest the sweep in her or the fold in her clothing. Yes. Gonna use burnt umber to go over the contours and blend it a little bit. So it really separates the clothing of Santhana Lakshmi from that of the little kid. Taking a little more white to blend that in a bit. I guess that is enough as regards the clothing. One adjustment to the this space. Yeah, I didn't like this. I'm taking the burnt umber to make this circle. Somewhere I felt I've not done it right. Okay, adjusted. Another thing I wanted to adjust was I'm using burnt umber to just show the contour of her thumb. And then what we missed about her when we worked on her skin tones was the nails and few adjustments. Nails will not be visible everywhere. I'm just going to take a little bit of titanium white that is possibly mixed with another color that is lighter white, and I'm going to give the suggestion of the side of the nail or in her thumb, both the thumbs here, both the hands here. And then here, this thumb will have the nail visible, whereas then the fingers here will have nails visible. this finger possibly will show a little bit of nail visible. Cool. Done with that. I'm going to take a little bit of vermilion, water it down, or use a little bit of oil to tone it down. Tiny bit of yellow ochre to lighten down the strength of vermilion. A little more oil, so it's really translucent. I'll tell you why. In our tradition, just like the way there is this bindi, there's no empty hand. We have hands with mehendi or a kind of traditional, thing that goes in the center. So I'm just doing the. It's a circle. Mehendi is known. Really, you have seen various stylish designs and patterns. The tradition one is so simple. So you do the circle and then some dots around that circle. That's it. And then the tip of the fingers are also orangey because of the mehendi. And that I would show here also in this tip of the fingers. Underneath this, you can see. I think I have done that also. Now the focus can shift to the coconut. The coconut really has the shades. I'm just going to give a very dark black contour first and go over some darker spots. Burnt umber spots as well to make it really busy on the top. And then let's work on the olive green. Leaves. And shading them one more time before we get started with some more nuances on them. I want a little bit of ivory black to go very close to the section where it's starting from the center of the kalash or the pot. And I want some white highlights or very light, or almost not an onion white, but any color um, highlights on the tip. Done. Sword. I want to use, I think we had a brush number, what was the 0? And I had taken white in that, so I'm going to use that to just fill in the white a little bit in the center place, and then I'll take ivory black to go over the gray sections nicely one more time. Now I'm taking the tip of the brush to the real black. Done with that shading as well. I want to wipe off this brush clean because I want to use this for our crimson base. Yes, the lotus flower. We really are coming close to completion. So here, going to take a little more of oil, less of crimson. And you want to check that it doesn't flow through, so vertical check. Done. Going to kickstart the flower from the bottom, shading it, making sure that what we have from the previous layer can be shown through this. And I have checked the angle of it. It was okay. Last time I made some corrections, I think. Pushing the color through now. I'm going to use that also in the tips of the petals in the back. I just remembered something, the yellow here. Needed to be adjusted a little bit with the hand. I did that. Going back to the crimson world. Pushing the color through. It is just the translucence that is helping me show what's already there. Let's do the same thing with white. I'm going to throw in a little more of oil here and then titanium white, so it's really lighter. And I want it to go through. Not in many places, so keeping on blending it. I'm leaving some strokes, so it is I like it that way with lotus flowers. So I guess the shading is going well so far. Moving this slightly upward so you could see a bit more of what's happening here. Okay, I'm going to take a little more of crimson to go back and forth with this, balance it out. So the lightest strokes were done. Let's do a tiny bit of ivory black game. We know that we have done it before. The spots, a little bit of ivory black. Let's pull them around. There is enough oil in the canvas to pull things around. Accentuating the depth. Guess this is done. Cool. Okay. Do we call this complete? Yes, one thing important, that is to be having the signature of the artist. I had mentioned that I do my signature with my thumb impression as my first layer. You saw that. End of layer 4. So right now I'm going to start with my second layer to show you, but not paint it totally because it's going to take a while. Right. So this is where I get started. I put my first letter of my first name here on the space where I have done my thumb impression when it is dry, and that's where I start. So this is really hard to replicate when you have especially layers like this. Yeah, so that's one of the things. And then I go on to write my full name. That's exactly how I finish the painting. But of course, I'm not going to do that right away. Let's wrap up this session and also wrap up this painting. Thank you very much for being there, and thank you very much for following this through. And do share your pictures of what you have achieved, and if you have any questions, do remember you can always write to me, and we can have discussions around what you have done, maybe share the pictures along with the questions. So I'll see if I could help you in any way. That will be a very interesting learning experience also for me. Remember to write to support at the GLAC studio. Thank you very much for participating in this journey of recreating Santhana Lakshmi in a form of a girl. And also, we are empowering girl child, we are empowering the same time celebrating diversity, because we chose an Australian girl child in this subject. We have, remember, there is also 7 other paintings available in my website, for which you will find 7 other sets of tutorials. You may also follow that through and try something with that. Take references from there and learn also from that. Share your thoughts, share your feedback always. I am ever so thankful for your participation here, and I look forward to seeing you around in another tutorial. Do mention it if you have learned something from me. Do mention my name when you have achieved something, GLAC Studio's name. So, I get a small little credit for whatever small little thing I would have helped you in your journey. Thank you very much. As always, stay blessed, stay motivated, stay happy, stay healthy. We have the goddess of progeny with you, so there's going to be a lot of love and friendship and relationships surrounding you. God bless you. Bye bye.